Hi, I'm gonna be talking about books because I had a goal of reading 12 books this year, and we are already on fall, and I still have 5 books left. So I'm gonna see if this motivates me or something. I'm gonna be using my Storygraph account because it's a lot easier. I have apparently 10 books in my current reads. Oh yeah, I do remember all of them. Oh my god. Let me actually see this. Oh good god. Yeah, these ones, as you can see, I started them years ago. 2023, 2022? All right, yes. These ones are from 2022. These ones are 2025. Good God. Okay, let's talk about the ones that I've started this year because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish these ones. Also, does anyone else does this? Because I don't want to DNF them. I know I'm going to finish them, but at the same time, I'm not as interested to finish them or actually to continue reading them as I was. Also, this is a reread, as you can see. This one is also a reread. This one is also a reread. And this one is also a reread. Okay. This is great. So out of the 10 books that I have in my current reads, I have about 5 that I don't have any interest in reading and 4 are rereads. Just one of them, which is a 500-page book that I also am not that interested in reading. Don't get me wrong, this one is a really interesting read. Bill Bryson, this one talks about space and all of that, which I think is a very necessary read. But it is heavy, and considering everything that is going on in the world, I want a bit of escapism sometimes. A lot of escapism. Now, Cassandra Clare, this is the 6th book of the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm doing a reread of all Cassandra Clare's books because I want to read the new ones, if I can find them. I want to read the new books, which are The Last Hours Triology, and I think there's one that came before that one that I'm very interested as well, which is this one. Also, I'm very interested in reading this one because I think it has to do with Alec and Magnus. This one, The Dark Artifices. So I have not been able to finish the Lady Midnight's book. When I read it, or when I tried to read it a few years ago, I couldn't get past the first chapters. But I know it has to do with fairies, and I tried to read the new popular books that are the Sarah J. Maas ones. I couldn't finish them. But I did love Cassandra Clare, and I do love her writing, and I've been enjoying the reread of the other books. I read this ones, and I also read the Clockwork Prince, which I finished this year. Where is it? These ones are my currently read. I finished the Bane Chronicles because I'm trying to read them in chronological order, I think from as they were released, like in release date. I finished this one. I did not make a review. That's okay. I did make a review on Fable, but apparently I did not do it here. That sucks. But let me check. I gave it on Fable. It sucks that we cannot actually see our stats from... Okay. I gave it 4 stars on Fable. Apparently, I did not have interest in most of the short stories. I should have read them as separate short stories instead because they felt too long and I had no idea where they were going and I really couldn't get invested. But some of the chapters were really good and that's the reason why I didn't give it 3 stars. And I joined the Glimpse of Malek and the other characters mentioned. I really love Ragnar and Raphael, and a few parts were more darker than I liked. So yeah, I finished this on April 3rd, and I think it took me like 40 days to finish. Yeah, I started on the 22nd of February, and I finished it on the 3rd of April. It took me about a month to finish this. And I'm pretty sure I have read this before, or no, I tried to read this before, when I was reading the series the first time, but I couldn't finish it. Glad to see that I actually finished this one, but I don't have any track record of the other one. Now this one, the sour candy one. This one has a 3.75 stars rating because it is horror and I have read it before, although apparently it doesn't show up here. It took me 2 days. It was okay, to be honest. Like, let me see if I had the review here. Yeah, like I said, it's not my usual genre, but it kept me engaged. The ending was unsatisfying and it doesn't feel all that fleshed out. Okay, I don't remember exactly what happened here, to be honest, but I did enjoy it actually. I remember I enjoyed it somewhat. I just was like very confused, to be honest. Oh, the Serpent's Shadow. Okay, the Crane Chronicles, a good series. I finished it. I tried to read this. Oh my god, where is it? Okay. So this one, I finished it last year on December 26th. It took me 4 months to read. I started on September 10 of 2024, but I did really like this series. I tried to read it before, again, years ago, because I read the other Rick Riordan series, which was the Percy Jackson one. And when I tried to read this one, it wasn't really my taste. But this time around, I really enjoyed it. I love the whole. Let me actually see if I had the review. But does this count? This was actually last year. But this too, I actually read this year. This was on March. Let me see how long it took me. It took me 3 months. I started the 2nd of January and I finished it the 21st of March. That is insane. Yeah, it took me so long to read books. Honestly, I see all these people reading like one book per like 1,000-page book per week, and it's like, how do you have the time? I guess you don't do anything else, or maybe you're a really fast reader. But yeah, I feel like I have to give it time and actually. Anyway, not gonna get into it. But yeah, I just can't read that fast. Yeah, the start was a bit slow, which was probably the reason why it took me so long. It usually happens. It takes me about the 30% mark for me to actually enjoy or start getting into a book. And they were not that annoying, which was the fear that I had. And I actually enjoyed the love triangle. It does have a love triangle that I felt was really good, was interestingly handled. Especially, I think I was reading another book at the time. Yes, as you see here, I'm trying to read all of the Rick Riordan books. After I finished this one, I read this one, and it took me 5 days. But in my defense, this is only 500, less than 500 pages. And I gave it 4 stars. I think, yeah, the romance was cute. Yeah, I was reading it around the time of the Clockwork Princess, which was probably what influenced me liking the love triangle a lot more. Although, don't get me wrong, the love triangle in the Clockwork Princess, it is one of the best, I feel like. I cannot debate that with anyone. Like, sorry, it's not debatable for me. That was a solid love triangle, and it was done in such a well that I have not in such a way that I had not read prior to that book at the time. And the other one was Clockwork Princess, which I already talked about. This one I gave it a 425, which is less. Oh, it's more than the Serpent's Shadow one. Again, too slow on the start. I think this one has. Yes, I have read this book 2 times, one in 2014 and one in 2025. I actually think I've read this more than one than two, but whatever. And it doesn't say, oh yeah, 29th of December to 13th of March. So about what, 4 months? And I give it a 425. Why did I do that? Yeah, the Will and Jim dynamic is one of my favorites in any book. I love that they did not fight for her. They were like, you want it, you want her, you can't have her. And they were like, no, but you have her. And both of them were willing to give her, like, don't get me wrong, it is so stupid. Like, she is her own woman. She should decide who she wants to be with. But I respect the sentiment in a way. Also, Magnus. Yeah, I love Magnus. I love Magnus as a side character because he could be questionable. And Tessa, she was a way more enjoyable main heroine, or like main character, than Clary. I think it was probably done on purpose. Oh, also Heir. This one does not count as I technically did not finish it this year, but I did finish it the 31st of December, so whatever. I have not read any book from Sabaa Tahir, and I actually want to read her other series, the one she had prior to this one. It took me 3 days to actually finish this one, but it was in December and I had time. I was on vacation. And I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It was a great mix of all the recent reads that I had. I don't know if this was a typo or something, but whatever. It has like 3 different points of view, and I love how the story flowed. I was a bit confused initially, but I think I got it in the end. I really did enjoy it. Also, I follow a Clockwork reader, and she gave it a 3 out of 5. So she says why? Oh, she says it's flat, and the characters are one-dimensional, and she wasn't a fan of the insta-love romance. Yeah, but the mystery is good. Yeah, I was aware. Like, listen, I don't take it that seriously. I do love a good insta romance, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, sue me, but actually don't. I don't have the money to pay you, so whatever. And the ones that I was reading are this one that I started on 2024, actually, almost 2 years ago. Okay. But this series, this was actually a reread. I have read it before, but I did not review it. I read this when I was 18, 19, 17, around that time, or maybe before. Probably like 16, to be honest. And I did really enjoy it, probably because I'm not into people talking to me like that. This one, Degradation, is one of my favorite books because of the ending. It was, yes, I was so invested. Like, listen, this was a very satisfying one. Why don't people like this one? It has a 385 average. I love this book till around 30% when the male interest just decided to switch to be a total asshole. Jameson, I adore you before and you made me laugh. However, after you started becoming so passive over tape, yeah, fuck off. What? Although the low rate I have from reading this one, it wasn't that bad. Surprisingly, I like that she still did stuff that I actually usually don't enjoy too much in a character, but okay, this book is definitely not my kind of book, so I don't think I will read the other two. What? Why don't people like this one? I love this one. I love the way that they interact with each other because it's such an interest dynamic. Like, would I like to be in a dynamic like that? Not at all. Not at all. That would drive me insane. But that's why I like it because I don't know. I guess we find things. We're into different things, I guess. Basically, a good girl gone wild, where I loved the beginning of the book. It was interesting and I got captured because I could actually picture the occurrences. Tate has, he cares later for others, which made me want to pull my hair out all the fucking time. I shaved my hair a few months ago. Bald spot. That is funny. Sorry. Yeah, moving on. Tate and the guy, worst couple ever. They have no loyalty to each other and their relationship had no foundation at all. They acted like kids whenever things went south. I felt like the girl couldn't get any more stupid since she threw her love away after sleeping with him 7 years ago. Sure, she gave up going to Harvard when she realized that political science was her family's dream, but she could have made a life out of art which she loved doing, which was completely forgotten the moment the guy came into the picture. The guy was one of those toxic people that you stay away from at all times. The thought of himself like a god and had a douche ingrained of his ruthless business-minded brain. The sex scared me a little and trust me, it takes a lot to scare me. The love triangle grows into a fucking rectangle. It felt completely out of the world to see this bridge player coming into Tate's place of work, but it worked for the others, so... The guy, yeah, I love Sanders. Sander is wonderful. Though his POV is not fun until book 2 that I DNF, he's a good guy and I voice of reason. The style of this writing is good, the English was better and I love the sarcasms as well how free-spirited the girl is in his sex endeavors. Though it made me uncomfortable. Overall, I enjoyed it, but I will not torture myself with finishing the second book because I already have too much. What? I'm so confused. What the heck? Need to bleach my eyes? Absolute kiss, but it was good. Thank you, Lindsay. Completely understand, but the whole point of this book is degradation, and maybe I'm just not really sensitive, but Kane was unnecessarily mean and cruel at points. Hot, but still mean. Oh my god, but that is... What? All I can say is why. I love and I hated this book at the same time. Amazing. Listen, I've never read a book with the two main characters being so boring. They just have sex, which isn't as well as they both make it out to be. After the first 3 sexy times, it was the same formula. It kind of is, yeah. I only like this for the side characters, Sanders and even Ellie left me. They're interesting characters. She's in denial and whiny. Well, Kane was just annoying and unbearable. He's so unlikable. Yeah, Tate, I don't get why you like him either. Just two delusional hypocrites have the most bland sex imaginable. It's almost funny. Yeah, I mean, the sex is not that great, but still, like, it's... this is the thing. This is the thing. People think it's just about the action. Like, do you guys not know roleplay? Like, Dirty Talk is one of the biggest... I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but wow. I'm surprised to see most people rate it 3 stars. I thought it was a good book. Like, it's not for everyone, I guess, but everyone has their kinks, and although this is not my kink, I found it so interesting. Anyway, yeah, that is it. Thank you. Bye.